Greetings guys, back at the movies once again, and tonight, as you can see from behind me, we are at the Sydney premiere of the brand new DC film direct from Warner Brothers, and that is Black Adam. It's been a long time in the making, around about 15 years or so. The film stars the wonderful Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, and also features Brosnan in the role of Dr. Fate, and Sarah Shahi. We're just about to head in and check this film out. Hopefully enjoy the footage in the meantime, and I'll be back after this to let you know my thoughts on the film and to have a bit of a chat about the production and to give you a review of the movie. Talk to you soon. Greetings once again, guys. Just got out of seeing the Sydney premiere of Black Adam, the brand new DC film brought to us by Warner Brothers Pictures, and of course it stars the wonderful, amazing and talented and very entertaining Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. This project's been pretty much in the works for the longest time. I think probably around about the 15-year mark. It's been in development hell. It's kind of had multiple release dates that have been postponed. It's finally here, and I have to say it's quite entertaining. Definitely through the first 2 acts. It's so action-packed, quite incredible in that way, but I think the constant action and constant kind of CGI sequences and battles do take away a bit from the plot. There is kind of a lack of a story there that pretty much is compensated for by the sheer amount of action. The runtime's probably a little bit long, and the kind of final act does fall into a bit of a descent. It does pick up at the end. There is a really fantastic post-credit scene that probably is arguably better than probably some of the main sequences of the movie. That's because who it features. I won't say who it is, but I mean, if you've seen any of the kind of publicity in the lead up to this film, and also filtered throughout the film, there's a lot of foreshadowing to say what character probably will be appearing in a sequel if it does happen, and in that post-credit scene. But it's fantastic. And that particular character, we have seen him before in cinema, and he looks completely fantastic. If you have seen it, you'll know what I'm talking about. It's a great kind of sequence, and I liked it quite a bit. Aside from that, key people other than Dwayne Johnson, have to say Pierce Brosnan. He's fantastic as Dr. Fate. Really formidable on screen, and in the role of the Hawkman, Aldis Hodge, he's quite good too, quite formidable, but definitely Pierce Brosnan steals the stage many a time. He is quite formidable, and he's probably the other key entertainer in this film, with the exception of Dwayne Johnson, who does a fantastic job. He performs quite differently in this film compared to what I've seen in previous films. It kind of reminded me a little bit of the way Dave Bautista portrayed Drax in Guardians of the Galaxy. It's quite a dry humour, slightly a bit of sarcasm in it, but it's essentially a kind of a straight-faced kind of action warrior that he's playing, without a lot of the nuances and the charm that he usually brings to the production, and that's not kind of it's just kind of the way he decided to depict this particular part. I do remember the director in previous interviews was saying how this film was kind of very much leaning into the genre of kind of a bit of that Western Clint Eastwood type of vibe, where it's there's that one man who has to take down the kind of the nemesis and the villains in a town, and they're the only particular people that can do that because they've got a unique and vicious way of doing it. This is kind of what Black Adam is. It kind of really is an anti-hero. There is quite a bit of death in this. Nothing too gory. It's just kind of really humorous kind of violence that kind of continues to take part. Another notable mention is Sarah Shahi. I think she does really well in this. She's pretty much the lead female, and I think she's fantastic and formidable in the role. She's captivating to watch, and she really holds the screen. Lots of credit to Sarah Shahi. But yeah, the stars really, Dwayne Johnson and Pierce Brosnan, they're fantastic. I do think the first 2 acts quite good, but the final act is a little bit long and probably doesn't really go anywhere. It leaves it to a bit of an unsatisfying conclusion, and the final nemesis at the end, it's a little bit weak for my liking. It is a classic kind of myth genre type of picture with that spattering of a kind of a Western. The weakness of the myth genre really is that you've got a lot of opponents that don't really kind of it's that classic weak villain kind of aspect, and they do kind of mask that a little bit with the introduction of the Justice Society of America, which is really one of the oldest teams in comics in general. They preceded the Fantastic Four and the Justice League. It was kind of a motley crew of comic stars that didn't really fit into their own individual comics at the time. It was kind of the golden age of comics, and they put them in this team up kind of comic Justice Society of America. Hence Hawkman, hence Dr. Fate, and a few additional newbies in this, but really it's a nice addition. It keeps the narrative flowing, but it really at times does feel a bit more like a Justice Society of America movie than a Black Adam movie. It's kind of like 2 movies melded into one. Quite interesting, but not enough to kind of save that final act. I do recommend seeing it. It's fun, it's entertaining, it's action-packed. Dwayne Johnson is always worth a watch, and of course Pierce Brosnan and Sarah Shahi definitely worth a watch as well. And that post-credit scene, probably the best part of the film, and definitely worthwhile seeing that. Just don't expect something incredible like some of the Marvel movies that we've seen in the past, and obviously some DC movies as well. I do think the Batman earlier this year was probably a better movie, more well thought out. This one, probably not as good, kind of a little bit slow in the final act. But aside from that, I'm about to head off. Hopefully you enjoy the footage from tonight. Definitely check this film out, and I'll catch you guys at the next one.